Hello, my chosen ones, star seeds and neurodivergent. I hope you're doing extremely well today. Let's talk about a little bit of science, if you know what I mean. So, if words are spells, how does the spells actually activate? How do they cast the spells without a wand? Well, let's get into it. The reason why I came to the conclusion that words are spells is through some acquaintances I had previously in an alternate timeline. I realized that those people around me always fed my mind with negative thoughts. They always gave me the most irrational suggestions in the most serious situations. And I kept wondering, why would they keep telling me something that they know is not going to benefit me? Now, one thing about chosen ones is we have a very dark humor about us. So when people say crazy jokes or crazy things, we typically don't even react to it because we're already used to so much chaos around us. But the reality is that these people, they sent those suggestions knowing that it was supposed to harm us. I'll give you an example. They know you're drunk and you should stay at home, but they will call you and tell you, hey man, I really need a ride. I really need a ride. If I don't get a ride, my life is gonna end. And you realize that you're obviously incapable of driving, but they insist. They even try to make you feel bad about it. You get close to driving and going to do something that could jeopardize your life, but then you realize that doesn't make any sense. This person could just be in an Uber, or they could call a Lyft. Why are they calling me? That's when you start to realize that words are spells, and people are constantly casting them in your direction in order for you to make bad decisions, because you can only make decisions with thoughts in your head. And depending on what broadcasts you're receiving inside of your antenna, the noggin, then typically that's the choices that you're going to make in life. So if a person keeps saying, hey man, yeah, it's okay to steal that, I do it all the time, you could steal that, they're casting a spell, because in reality they're not doing what they're telling you to do. They're only suggesting it so that way they could watch you crash and burn. And it's a sick cycle that these people live in, because why would you want someone full of love and light, a healer of people, to go through such a tragic end? Only God knows. But what I do know is that God's source sends the spells back to them 100-fold. And in due time, they get what's coming, because that's just not the right thing to do. Words are spells. Well, think about all the times that someone has told you something that got you angry and got you in your emotions. They might have just called you the F word and you got offended because that was a verbal assault that was slinged at you. Now, with discernment, wisdom, and all the other things that God's source has bestowed upon us, chosen ones, star seeds, and neurodivergence, we're able to navigate and move freely throughout this matrix. Just know that you can control the spells. One of the most difficult things that you will go through as a chosen ones is realizing that you have to cut off certain individuals that are constantly casting spells your way. Deep down inside, you know your inner instinct is telling you that something is off, but they've been your friend for a while and you just think that that's just how they are. But in reality, they're slinging the spells. So eventually you're going to have to make a decision to cut off some of the spellcasters in your life. Either way, that's your decision to make. But the sooner you do it, the better your life will be. It's crazy. I can tell you right now that once you cut off a spellcaster in your life instantly improves, because somehow, some way, a new person finds you and fills that space, but it's a more healed version of you. So you're finding a more healed version of friendship. Even if you run into my channel, that just means that the old paradigm has loosened its grip on you, and right now you're moving towards the stratosphere. Things are crazy right now, and it seems like it's not going well, maybe, but in the background, once you separate from the spells that they're casting against you, your life will start to go parabolic. Remember, every little thing that they tell you is a spell. It's not to make you paranoid, but you have to observe the ones that are purposely doing it. And as crazy as this sounds, especially if you're an attractive person, you're an intelligent person, and they think that you have life on easy mode, that's when they cast the most spells. They will say things like, oh, you think you have money? You don't have any money. Meanwhile, they don't even know your financial situation. But that's what they do. They send these spells to make you believe that you're broke, that you're not worth anything, so you can stay down and keep your light and keep your aura in a negative vibe. But as I always say, they can't stop the light because the light shines too bright. There's a reason why starlight has continued for eons and eons, and it has never distinguished, because that's a part of the nature. So if the dark wants to get stamped out, they're more than welcome, because we block spells over here. We have the Christ consciousness aura and the backing of the hacking of the matrix and the entities that walk behind us every single day. We don't need to worry about the spellcasters. We just need to be aware and cut them off from our lives. And I'm telling you, your life will start to go parabolic. I'll see you in the next one, my chosen ones, starseeds and neurodivergents. As always, stay safe and be well. Peace.